Shalom, Pastor Hartman back at you with the truth, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Kakodash. And I'm going to entitle this video, O Daughter of Babylon, which is in now I typed in the word Babylon, and Babylon is written in the KJV almost 300 times, 286 times to be exact, in 252 verses. So these, when you hit, okay, come down here. Wow, there's a lot of verses. This is talking about ancient Babylon. And this is a simple topic. And at the same time, it's a complex topic. The ones of you that been in this truth, you've grown. Grown folks in the truth. That's, when you're in this thing for years and you know how to navigate the precepts, the scriptures, you're a grown folk in the truth. Anyway, from here, it's pretty much talking about. I'm not going to check each and every verse passage, but around here, which let me see. Okay, even this verse here, Jeremiah 29:3, but the hand of Elisha, son of Shaphan, blah blah blah, Judah sent unto Babylon to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon. We know that that's talking about ancient Babylon. You have, and I'm gonna go, most high willing, I'm gonna go into the commentary, see what these so-called Christian scholars, theologians have to say about some of these precepts. Let me see something. Okay, let me go to. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I gotta bring this back. We know that this is talking about Babylon, ancient Babylon, but every once in a while, and I'll show you. Okay, you got Psalms, right? Psalms 137. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. Now that's talking about ancient Babylon, the kingdom of Judah being taken down by the Babylonians. Now, if you go into the history, the Assyrians were trying to take down Judah before was successful in taking down the kingdom of Israel. If you go into the history on that, that's a whole nother lesson. But let me see. Okay, this 137 verse 1, Psalms 137 verse 1 is talking about ancient Babylon. Now, when you jump down to I'm in my morning regimen of coconut oil or oil pull. Look that up. Also, pure lemon juice. Gargle with that, and you're supposed to drink it down. it revs up the body. And then let me go back into this and thinking two thoughts. Psalms 137:8, O daughter of Babylon. Now, before this, you got Babylon, 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 Babylon. And then all of a sudden you got, O daughter of Babylon. So we know right here, I said, wait a minute, every time I come across the word Babylon, there's no daughter of Babylon. Right here, Psalms 137:8, O daughter of Babylon. Let me click on that. This is a short psalm. You can read the whole psalm. Anyway, it says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom. Now, this is talking about Babylon, right? The first verse, by the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. It says Babylon right there, but down here, it says, O daughter Babylon. So it says in 7th verse, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom. How did Edom become a part of this? In the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon. So what is the psalmist saying? He's not talking about Babylon. He's talking about, O daughter of Babylon. So that's a different Babylon. Babylon gave birth to a daughter. What you're going to find out is America. Oh, let me see. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, and the day of Jerusalem, which said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, which are the Edomites, who are to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. Happy, 9th verse, happy shall he be that taketh, that he is talking about Israelites, that taketh and dashes thy little ones against the stone. Oh, by the way, according to Sakari, a little one is 19 years old. So we're going to be taking 19-year-old, 18-year-old, 17-year-old and bash them. No, it's talking about little ones. Let me look that up. Thy little ones. I'm pretty sure it's going to say any Israelite that's 19 years and younger. Child, boy. What is a child? Babies, infants, child, little ones, children. Not know if the guy's 19, 18, 17 years old, he's a little one. He ain't no little one, man. So let's come back. Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to take Psalms 137. I mean, I already know what this is. I just want to see what these so-called theologians have to say about it. These Christian scholars, experts. So I'm at I always go to where is it? Bible. Okay, here it is. Bible Hub. Okay, normally the shortest one is the Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. So let me see what they say about this. Remember, you see Jehovah, we know that there's no J in the Hebrew. J came about in 1524. We used to say it was the 1600s. It was actually 1524 during the buildup of the Renaissance. You had a Renaissance language. So when you call on Jesus, you're really calling on Caesar Borgia, which is the Renaissance Jesus. So why would you say Jesus, Jesus, and then in your mind you're picturing a black person? Jesus is not black. Jesus is so-called white. Yahweh Shai is so-called black. And so remember, there's no J in the Hebrew, there's no V in the Hebrew. The V is supposed to be a Y. The J is supposed to be a Yah. And the name of the Most High is not no goddamn Ahaya Bahashim Yeshaya. You know about that clown. It says against the children of Edom. This is written a little different. It's not the King James. What version is this? Okay, it is a King James, but this is, anyway, it says, remember Yahweh against the children of Edom, the day of Jerusalem. Remember and punish the conduct. Ooh. Remember and punish so the Lord punishes people. Is he going to punish the E's? Remember, and this is why I like going to these commentaries, man, just to get into the mind of these theologians. Sometimes they right, they hit or miss. Sometimes they're right, and sometimes they're wrong. Remember and punish the conduct of the Edomites in the fatal day of judgments. I'm sorry, in the fatal day of Jerusalem fall. So when did Jerusalem fall, or the kingdom of Judah fall, or the southern kingdom, and how did Esau or the Edomites get involved in this? Let's see what they say. Let's see what they know. For this sense of remember, okay, it says, give you a bunch, two scriptures. And for the day, Obadiah, all right, Obadiah 1 and 12. I can't see this as these letters are so light. It says, but you should not have looked on the days of your brother. Now we know it's talking about Esau, the Edomites, and the day that he became a stranger. So Israelites could be strangers, can be considered strangers. One of Moses' son was called Gershom, which means stranger, but he was an Israelite of the tribe of Levi. Neither should you have rejoiced over the children. And then you got motherfuckers in Israel. Well, you got to love the Edomite, man. You know, it says in Deuteronomy 23:7. You know what, motherfucker? Do you think if your son, if you had a son or a daughter, let's say a son, you're Jake, and police shoot him down, and he has no gun. They said they thought he had a gun. His back was turned. He had his hands up. It's on video. Clearly, the cop said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna shoot this nigga." And you go to court. Are you gonna forgive them? You lying piece of shit. You motherfucker. You got fuck you, man. Excuse me, I'm bugging out here. But see, Jake is a fucking hammerhead, man. They're hammerhead. And they're suffering from severe Stockholm syndrome. That's the problem with you niggas, man. You're suffering. No, you gotta love Esau. And man, come on, man. All the shit that this motherfucker did, you gonna love him in the kingdom? Damn, that's damn near worse than having sex on the Sabbath. And you guys, man, teaching that demonic doctrine that you can have sex on the Sabbath. Guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Hawashai going to destroy every last one of you niggas. Okay, neither should you have rejoiced over the children of Yahweh, because it was, now the children of Yahweh is talking about Judah, Benjamin, Levi, and some of the other tribes. Some of the other so-called Latin tribes stayed with the kingdom of Judah. In the day of their destruction, during what time, what destruction? If you're a scholar, you should know that during the time of the Babylonians, Esau was there to help. Neither should you have spoken proudly in the day of distress. The day of distress of who? Of the Israelites. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, there's a little dagger right here. Psalm 37, verse 13. I got to start using that more. I got to start using that period. Yahweh shall laugh at him, for he sees that his day is coming. Whose day is coming? Esau's day is coming. They're going to get their comeuppance. The hostility of the Edomites to Israel was of long standing, and it was, now why would the Most High say, you got to love Edomites, but they can do all kind of shit to you? Stop playing, you damn clowns. It says, and it was aggravated by the fact of their relationship through their descent from Esau and Jacob. So what's the whole story of Esau and Jacob? They hated each other. Them being in Rebecca's womb, they had a UFC MMA / death match because it's two opposing spirits. So us inside of our spirit is to hate Esau. The Most High set us up. He programmed us to hate Esau. And guess what? The Most High programmed Esau to hate us. You know, you take two babies, if there's twins, you know the twins or the quadruplets or whatever. But let's say twins. The twins, they cling to each other, they hug each other. Now these twins didn't. They were trying to kill each other because you know, I would imagine Rebecca couldn't get no sleep because she's sleeping, and all of a sudden there's a rumbling in her body, and she didn't know what was going on. And they said, 2 nations shall come out of thy womb. For other knuckleheads that say, well, wait a minute, you got Israelites, you got bone-headed, hammer-headed Israelites that forgive me for going on this rant, but you get mad, man, when you go into these scriptures. And he's got these clowns that claim that they know how to break the scriptures, man. You got to love Edomites. You know, that's in Deuteronomy 23, verse 7. Well, first of all, the word hate is not in there. The word is abhor. It has nothing to do, when your woman is on her period, you abhor her. You get away from her. They are repeatedly denounced for it by the prophets. Who are the prophets talking against? The Edomites. And threatened with vengeance. See Amos. See these commentators, man. These Christian theologians. These theologically trained Edomites. They hit or they missed. They hit. He's hitting right now. Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges is hitting. They hitting on something. It gives you, it quotes Amos 1:11. You know, when anybody bring up, matter of fact, let's read it. It said, "Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof." So no matter what Edomites do, and you can quote Ezekiel 33:15, if they restore the pledge, give back to that which they robbed, they're going to be saved and delivered. That ain't talking about, that's what the 7 used to teach. Back at One West, the 7 went off on certain things. That's talking about Edomites. If Edomite restores a pledge, and does this, he does that, but they're not going to do it. Well, why would it be in the scriptures if they're not going to do it? It says, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, trying to kill you, and did cast off all pity, didn't have no pity, and his anger did tear perpetually forever, and he kept his wrath forever. So this man hates us, but we can't hate him. Okay, we got Obadiah. But one thing these so-called scholars / theologians are not going to do, they're not going to tell you who Edomites are. And trust me, they know who Edomites are. If they haven't figured it out, they got us. And look, all these so-called Christian, so-called experts, they're watching all of our videos. This is Obadiah 1:10. For your violence against your brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and you shall be cut off forever. And Azariah said, not all the Edomites are going to be cut off. They're going to be judged, not going to be cut off. It says, you shall be cut off forever. Joel 3:19. Let's see what that says. Let me see what that says. Egypt shall be a desolation, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. Now, what does it mean by Edom? Currently, Babylon the Great, the USA, is now known as the land of Edom in Isaiah chapter 34. Be a desolate wilderness. And Egypt is talking about America. It says Egypt shall be a desolation. We know it's not talking about ancient Egypt, because ancient Egypt is going to, remain in, it's not going to be a desert. For the violence against the children of Judah, there it goes again, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. It was the Esau. So they shed the blood of Israel. Wow. I can't believe Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges, y'all came through this time. It says, concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, his wisdom no more in Teman, his counsel perish from the prudent. Is their wisdom vanished? And it's talking about Edom. It's talking about the Edomites. As you read down, when you get a chance, just read Jeremiah 49, the whole chapter. Sometimes it's good to read the whole chapter. Okay, wow. The Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges, are they watching our videos and taking notes? Lamentation 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwell in the land of Uz. The cup of also shall pass through to you. You shall be drunken and shall make yourself naked. Wow. Ezekiel 25, verse 12. Thus said the Lord power Yahweh, because that Edom has, but then see, Vocab Malone said, well, the Edomites were done away with. Well, wait a minute. When did these prophecies come to pass? Thus saith Yahweh the Most High, because that Edom has dealt against the house of Judah by taking vengeance and has greatly offended and revenged himself on him. Now you can read the rest. Son of man, set your face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Now let me do something here. Let me go down to the 5th verse, I believe it's in. Ezekiel 35, verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual. Now, from the first verse, we know it's talking about the Edomites, right? Mount Seir. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Yasha'Allah by the force of the sword. That's the blessing that they were given by Isaac in the time of their calamity. That's talking about Babylon, in the time that their iniquity had an end. And the time of their calamity is talking about Babylon. I haven't begun to get into the subject because I didn't want to go in this direction, but that's the spirit. Okay, let's see if we can get some more meat. Oh my goodness, Isaiah 34. They just put Isaiah 34. They didn't put no verse because the whole chapter is dedicated to the destruction of the Idumeans. Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Bozrah is a major city of the Edomites, the Mount Seir. This that is glorious in his apparel. This is our Lord, traveling in the greatness of his strength. He shall not meet you as a man that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Now this is what I'm going to do. Let me go to Isaiah 63 and 1. This is for you out there that are building up in the spirit. This is not for grown folk Israelites, grown in the truth, they teachers and all that. This is for everybody, but we all know these precepts, but you people that are coming into this thing 6 months in, a year in, a couple of years in, and for you other camps that go off, the ones of you that teach that you're supposed to love Edomites. Anyway, it says, wherefore, second verse, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. The wine fat, the grapes are Edomites. The wine fat is the stuff that come out of the grapes when you bust a grape and it turns into wine. The wine is symbolic for Esau's blood. Now the Lord is not going to come down there and start stomping out Edomites, and the blood and the guts is going to go on his garment. It's symbolic. It's poetic. It's parabolic. That's why, like I said, that's why Esau can't get this. I have tried not to wine flesh alone. And the Lord is coming to hate. He coming to hate, man. It says, for the day, 4th verse, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. The year of my redeem. What does the word redeem mean? So any Israelite that's teaching that, I got to go back to Elder Rakar of the GOCC of Gawk. They're clearly going, ain't no Edomites gonna make it, man. Ain't no Edomites gonna be a servant. They're gonna be a butler in the kingdom. No, they're gonna be beat down in the kingdom. And they're gonna be worked out in the fields. Okay, redeem. I wanted to look up the word redeem. Ga'al, to redeem, act of kinsman, redeemer, avenge, revenge, ransom. Right, when somebody kidnaps somebody, they're not going to kidnap somebody in the hood. They're going to kidnap, what was the name of that Denzel movie? I believe it was Man on Fire. That was about, that's big in certain parts of Mexico where they get the rich of the Mexicans, the rich Mexicans, and they'll find out where the children go to school, and they'll kidnap them and they'll put a ransom on them. So Esau, there's a ransom that Esau got. So the Lord got to pay that ransom. And how is he going to pay it? He's going to pay it by killing him. A Taken, another good movie with this guy, Liam Neeson. You know, you got a Taken 1, Taken 2, Taken 3. All you got to do is watch Taken 1, because Taken 2, Taken 3 is the same motherfucking, they put a little bit more, it's the same fucking movie. Same goddamn movie. So they took his daughter, and I believe her cousin or something like that, and he was killing motherfuckers to get his daughter back. So that's how the Lord's gonna come. But he shall not meet thee as a man. It said to redeem, act as kinsman, redeemer, kinsman meaning your kinfolk, avenge, revenge, payback, ransom. We're in the spirit of revenge. We're in the spirit of redeeming. Because you can redeem somebody, buy somebody back by destroying them. Oh, they also showed you that in the other movie Denzel did. Who was that called? It wasn't called Executioner. It was a part 1 and a part 2, which are great movies. And he was just killing people. What's the name of the movie? Damn, I can look it up, but I'm not. Somebody put it in the description box. It said ransom. We know what a ransom is. Do the part of a kinsman. The act as kinsman, do the part of the next kin, act of kinsman redeemer by marrying brothers, widows, to beget a child for him. That's in the law. That's in the law. I remember, I don't know if they were Ephraimites or their fathers were Jake and their mothers were Ephraim, so they kind of had that Ephraimite, Simeonite look to them. And I remember a friend that knew them guys saying, oh yeah, his brother died. And then, well, his brother died, and the wife, I don't know if she had kids or didn't have kids, and the brother got with the wife. And I said, that shit is fucked up. I was long before I came to the truth. But then I understood in the scriptures, in the law, that if you have a brother that has a wife and that brother dies and there's no children, then the brother has to deal with the wife to bring forth a seed for his name. That's a whole nother subject. With Judah and his daughter-in-law playing a harlot. It said, where is that woman that played the harlot? So I can burn her. Why did he say I can burn her? Because that's in the law. If you have a woman that plays a harlot, a daughter of a priest, but it's a daughter of any Israelite man, she plays a harlot, you can stone her or burn her. These words are harsh. But then you got these how do I say, these pseudo-Israelites like with the Deuteronomy 22 thing. Here it is, they still can't get it. Here Sarnetta got it, and what's her name? Shadar is her next name, her last name, but I forget her first name. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Even she got it because she was the one that taught it to Sarnetta. And Sarnetta said the number one camp out there is GMS. And they were right about the rape doctrine. Yeah, but you was emotional for years. And guess what? You got Israelites out there that are still emotional. Guys like Sakari. It said by marrying brother's widow to beget a child, to redeem from slavery. We're in slavery right now. This is more of a sophisticated slavery than anything. To redeem land, to exact vengeance, to redeem by payment. So you can say, okay, how much do I got to give you? You got to give me $10 million, or we chop your daughter's head off. Okay, no problem. But you have intel about where they're at, and you get special forces, and when you come in and get your daughter, you kill all of them. That's another way to redeem. And that's how the Lord's coming back to redeem. Okay, so see, this whole subject is taking me to a whole different direction, but that's good. There's lessons within lessons. Remember, I said it first. There's lessons within lessons. You should use that term in your teachings, inside joke. If you know why I said that, you'll be cracking up. It's from a movie. Okay, so let's come back. So I was surprised at how accurate where they at. I was surprised how accurate the Cambridge Bible for schools and colleges were or are. Anyway, let's go back to the scriptures. So now we know when it says, remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, and the day, and it's even in the Apocrypha. It's even in the Apocrypha where it speaks about Edomites helping the Babylonians take us down. So, excuse me. Anyway, so now we know what this means. Psalms 137, verse 7. And this hasn't been fulfilled. Psalms 137, 7 to the ninth verse, 7 verse to the 9th verse. This hasn't been fulfilled. So that right there proves that the Edomites are still here, because we have yet to take vengeance on the Edomites. Isaiah 63 verse 1 has yet to take place. Because when did the Lord come back in history and kill off the Edomites and go back into the heavens? Didn't happen. Getting ready to happen. Okay, so now we're back at Babylon. And what got me to do this lesson was I was watching a video, and I've watched it a couple of days, but I didn't watch the whole thing, and I came back to watch more of it. Apostle Raimla did a video, and I believe Apostle Gabar, there was a couple of brothers, elders, teachers that did videos on it, on this video that was put up by Mike of Rethink the Dollar. And somebody named, I think his name was Steve, or Stephen called in, and he said, Babylon is not America, because it says Babylon is a city. Well, a city is as big as its people. You know, like Rome. Rome, in essence, was started off as a city, and it became an empire, but they still had the same laws. You have big cities and you have little cities. You have towns, you have villages, you have townships, which are nothing but cities because they have government. That's a city. That's the definition of a city. Well, you know, a city is not America. It's not a city. Well, America is a city because you're a citizen. That's in what Amendment 13 and either Amendment 13 and Amendment 14. Citizens subject to the state and subject to the federal government. Meaning you might be a New York citizen, a citizen of New York, but in a bigger sense, you're a citizen of the U.S. The U.S. compasses all the other states. So you might be a citizen of New York, you might go to California, but you're still a citizen of the U.S. So a city is as big as its citizens. So Babylon is America, that city. So now let's okay, let's go to Isaiah 13:1, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. And see, when we deal with these quote unquote Christians and we show them these things, they'll say, well, that's not true and I can't see it because they don't study. They don't know. Look, I'm gonna go to one of vocab's pages, and I guarantee you, if there's 100 comments, they'll be doing good if there's 2 comments with actual scriptures in it. Because when you come on our pages, you gotta put them scriptures down, man. All right, you men, you got to put them scriptures down. The ones of you that grown in this thing, you got to put them precepts, man. Like I said, a lesson is going on video, and then there's another lesson going on a comment board, and then there's a third lesson going on after the video is finished on a regular comment board right underneath the video. So there's lessons within lessons. Okay, let me do this. I don't gotta do that. You already know. Just trust me. Do it yourself. Go to one of Vocab's videos. He's talking about Israel, and you got people. Yeah, they're a cult. Nah, they're mean. They curse, and I heard Tahar curse. He said the MF word. There's no scriptures. There's no scriptures. So you Christians, see, that's why they're sending these. How can I say, educated Christians, theological cemetery type Christians, and they're still getting their ass whipped. And truth be told, the Deacon Hakar be beaten. he's the Christian, he's the Christian executioner. You know, he be getting, you know, they go off, like I said, don't get me wrong, but when they're on point, they're on point. Okay. So I said something good about Sakai. What you gonna say now? Tahar, you don't mean that in your heart. Okay. Okay, brother. Anyway, let's go. Okay, let's go from here to the hell? Isaiah 13, the burden of Babylon. We know now that we learned that we're grown folks in this truth, that we're no longer babies, so we don't got to give you meat. Milk. We can give you meat. See, a lot of these Christians that come into this thing, newly come into a Christian that says, I'm gonna be an Israelite. Guess what? He's a newborn baby. He's a newborn baby. You got to go back to the basics, and then he got to build himself up. Okay, it says the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. We know that this is talking about. Now Isaiah didn't know. But because Isaiah said, wait a minute, Babylon gonna be destroyed by fire? Wow. Isaiah didn't know. Remember, the prophets of old did not know, did not understand or understand or was able to interpret the visions that they saw, all the way up into John the Apostle on the Isle of Patmos. They didn't know what was going on. Guess what? We know what's going. We know what's going on. We know what these prophecies mean. You got guys writing books. What the hell are you writing a book for? The book, you ain't even mastered the main book. It said the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. We know that that's talking about the U.S. Isaiah 13:19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Sodom and Gomorrah was overthrown by what? By fire coming from heaven. There's no record of that, of the ancient pagan Babylonians. So this Babylon right here in Isaiah 13:19 is talking about the U.S. Isaiah 14:4. And that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. That's talking about America. See, America, the U.S. has many names. It's known as the land of Edom, pursuant to Isaiah 34. It's also known as Assyria. It's also known as, what is it, Tyrus. It's also known as Babylon. It's also known as Sodom and Egypt, Revelation 11. And it's codified. The scriptures is codified. So the Spirit has to work, open up your mind to see it. It says, for I will rise up against them. This is Isaiah 14:22. For I will rise up against them, saith Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith Yahweh. And that's the U.S. Isaiah 21:9. And behold, here cometh a chariot of men with a couple of horsemen. And he answered and said, Babylon is fallen, and all the graven images of her gods he have broken unto the ground. That's talking about the U.S. Okay, right here in Isaiah 39, we know that this talking about ancient Babylon. I'm not going to read this one, but I'm not going to read all these precepts. It says, Isaiah 47:1, come down and sit in the dust. Dust meaning confusion. That's also in, I'm sorry, let me do this. Let me take the word dust. You know, sometimes dust means dust, but on a bigger sense or spiritual sense, dust is confusion. Bear with me for a minute. Bear with me for a minute. Give me a second right here. Okay, let me bring this one out. Isaiah 52 verse 2. Shake thyself from the dust, arise and sit down. So it's not saying that Israelites are dusty. It's saying if you're following Kemetic, that's you're in the dust. You're in the dust. You're confused. Baptist, Methodist, you're following vocab Malone, Moors. It's all dust. So in order for you to see clear, you got to get rid of the dust. It says, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion, put on thy beautiful garments. Now that beautiful garments is talking about this truth. It speaks about, what is that, Revelation 16, if I'm not mistaken. It speaks about the that you be caught. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and get it for you youngins out there. I'll come back and get it. No big deal. It says, "O Jerusalem, the holy city." Now this proves that High Priest Ariel used to say, Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. So Jerusalem, when it speaks about the new Jerusalem and Revelation 21 coming down from heaven, they ain't talking about an actual city. It's talking about the Israelites, the elect coming back in those ships, them chariots. The holy city, we also known as the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust, arise. Now the dust is confusion, and sit, poetic for confusion. And sit down, arise and sit down, O Jerusalem, which is the Israelites, loose thyself from the bands of thy neck. Now there's an invisible yoke on us, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus, third verse, for thus saith Yahweh, ye have sold yourself for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money. So you're going to get redeemed. You're going to get bought back. But the Lord is not going to write a check and give it to Esau. Well, here's how much you want, $10 trillion. I'm going to write a check out to you. No, he's coming to take them. And we read the definition of redeemed. You can redeem your nephew or your cousin or whatever. Abraham did that to Lot. He didn't pay. Lot was taken captive, and Abraham did it the physical way against them Canaanites, which you sent bird-brained Negroes that want to be Africans. Go ahead and be. I wish you become Africans, man. So your black ass can go into slavery. So now let's come back over here. See, Jeremiah 27:6. And now have I given all lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon. So we know that that's talking about ancient Babylon. Now, when you get to okay, let me go to the next page. Most places in the book of Jeremiah, when it speaks about Babylon, it's talking about ancient Babylon. And sometimes when it mentions the king of Babylon, it's talking about the U.S., America. Anyway, it says, Jeremiah 50:1, the word of Yahweh spake against Babylon and against the land of Chaldean by Jeremiah the prophet. Was Jeremiah thought that was talking about the ancient Babylon. This is talking, Jeremiah chapter 50 and 51 is talking about the U.S., America. Declare ye among the nations and publish and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. This is talking about America. Say Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, the American people are not worshiping and honoring ancient Babylonian gods. Yes, they are. Where do you think Christmas come from? It's an Assyrian practice that goes back to Nimrod and Semiramis. So your Christmas, your Easter, it goes back to ancient pagan rites, what they call their high days. It said, remove out of the midst of Babylon and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans and be as he goats before the flock. That's the wilderness. That's the wilderness. Because when Babylon was taken down, it just became a province of the Medes. So we know that right here, the 8th verse is talking about America. Jeremiah 50 and 9, for lo, I will rise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of nations. An assembly of nations, let me look that up. See what they say about assembly. What's the Hebrew word? Assembly. The word is quahal. Assembly, company, congregation, convocation, great calling, assembly for evil counsel, war or invasion, religious purposes, company, a return, exile, congregation as organized body. Like a corporation is an assembly. You know, you had the CEO, you had the CFO, you have the COO, and then you have the various ranks in a corporation, but it's a gathering of minds for business. So that assembly of nations, what's happening right now with Russia in invading the Ukraine? The Ukraine was part of the former Soviet Union, so they bring them back. They're assembling them back together for this great war. And the Most High is working with Putin. He's making them do that. What is that? Job 33, verse 15, if I'm not mistaken. So let's come on back. So now as you go through these precepts that I went through, now you can see, now when you open up the scriptures and come across the word Babylon, you say, oh, that's talking about ancient Babylon. Oh, that's talking about the U.S. And Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 51 are hella chapters. I love those chapters because it just goes in. You know, there's certain, like Baruch 4, what other, Obadiah. Some of these precepts that you go through, you got to really start from the first verse and try to read the whole chapter, or read the whole chapter. It says, remove out in the midst of Babylon. How are we going to be removed? We're going to be beamed up. 9th verse, for lo, I will rise up. I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon, America, an assembly of great nations from the north country. The uttermost north is Russia, which are the Sips, which are the Rosh. One of their ancient names was the Rosh, and also the Scythians. And they shall set themselves in array against her, or the U.S., from thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So those arrows are talking about ICBM missiles. Now they said back in the day, a ICBM from Russia to America takes about 25 minutes. I'm pretty sure the modern ICBMs could be even faster. So where the hell are you gonna go in 25 minutes? When you hear the sirens, the Russians, they're shooting them ICBM missiles, run. Where the fuck you gonna run to, man? And see, these individuals that come into this truth and they go back into the world, they haven't built themselves up in these scriptures, man. When they go back in the world, they become Baptists again. Oh, Babylon is talking about ancient Babylon. Oh, the theologians were right. You're going to say that until you get fired up by the missiles. Jeremiah 50, verse 13, because of the wrath of Yahweh, the anger of the great anger, indignation of Yahweh, righteous judgment, it shall not be inhabited. Well, guess what? Ancient Babylon was inhabited. It became a province of the Persians, Persian and Mede Empire. But it shall, the Mede Empire, then the Persians came in. But it shall be wholly desolate. Ancient Babylon was not wholly desolate. It became a province. There were people still living there. There's people living in Babylon geographically right now, which is off the Euphrates. Shall be like the country Iraq. Babylon, the city Babylon is in Iraq. Shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So now, you know what I want to do? I want to go to Revelation. It'll take 2 days to go through all these precepts. Like here in the book of Daniel, it's talking about Babylon, ancient Babylon. Okay, right here. Right here in 1 Peter 5, verse 13, the church that is at Babylon. You had these guys, Nazariah. They were teaching that Babylon is a Vatican City, because you see it says the church that is at Babylon, that's the Vatican City. No, there were Israelites that were living in Babylon, that the geographical Iraq, so you can understand, off the coast of the Euphrates, which believed. Now, what I want to do is, and I'm gonna get ready to close it. Okay, let me do this. And I know they're going to go off on this. Okay, where's the commentary at? I'll come back over here. Okay, Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. Let's see what they say about this. Upon her forehead was a name written, probably not branded on the flesh, but tied on as a label, as Roman harlots actually did wear their names. Wow, I didn't know that. See? Now, if anything, they'll say that this is Rome. I don't know if Cambridge is going to say it. It said mystery interpreters compare the mystery of lawlessness, the use of the word in Revelation 1 and 20 may illustrate its meaning here. It indicates that Babylon the Great is to be understood in a mystical sense. Yeah, you can say that because that's not the name of Babylon. It says of harlots, rather of harlots, she is the chief of these, and the cause of the rest being what they are. Yeah, when the nations committed fornication with Babylon, they became Americanized, westernized. Therefore, though the fornication of Babylon are to be understood spiritually, you can say politically, yet her guilt includes the actual licentiousness of the Rome of Nero and Domitian, which are back here. Nero's back here. I strongly believe that's Trump. And in a wider sense, the sin of great cities generally. They didn't say America. I knew that they weren't going to say America. But I believe one of these, okay, let's see what this, let me do this. Let me put in Rome. Because they compare, some of these so-called scholars compare Babylon the Great with Rome. And if they say that, they're half right. Because they got to understand that there's a new Rome. This is the new Rome. This is Rome all over again. Okay, this is okay, this is Expositor's Greek Testament. This is for Revelation 17, verse 5. A Roman philas de joy, whore, a label with their name thus, which hardly belongs to the title itself, indicates that the name is to be taken, not literally, a name written, which is a symbol or a mysteriously significant title. Rome. Is this Rome all over again? You're damn right. This is Rome all over again. This is the deadly wound that was healed. It says that the natural focus of Oriental cults in general is charged with blah, 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 blah. It comes from the prophet of a religion which one Roman historian class among them. They kind of give you a little bit of information on that, but let's go here. Okay, this is Ellicott's commentary for English readers. I'm going to go right here. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. It said later, Revelation 18, verse 24, that in her was found the blood of prophets and saints and all that have been slain upon the earth. The cruel spirit of the persecution marked old pagan Rome, old pagan Rome. So they're right on that, but they're half right. It is talking about Rome, but it's talking about the new Rome, the revived Rome. She was drunken with their blood, this Israelites' blood. It is not literally true that all the blood shed on earth will be found in Rome, either pagan or papal. Let me try this here. And I'm gonna get ready to close. So we know based upon the New Testament scriptures that we went through that it's not talking about ancient pagan Babylon, it's talking about the new Babylon. Okay, it says Revelation 17 and 17, I'll close on this one. For the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will That's the allies of the NATO nations and the EU nations are going to drop bombs on America because they're worried about what Russia's going to do, and to agree and to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, because the Most High is the captain of the ship now. 18th verse. And the woman which thou saw is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. So that great city is talking about Babylon. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.